Igneous Rock by Kyra, Mike, and Collin.
We are here to talk about and tell you about igneous rock, one of the three basic types of rock, along with sedimentary and metamorphic rock, or also one of the five types, which include sediments and magma.
Igneous means made from fire or heat. An igneous rock is formed when molten lava, magma, cools and turns to solid rock, solidification. The magma comes from the Earth's core, which is molten rock, and crystallizes together when cooled, either beneath or on the Earth's surface.
Okay. Here's a typical model of how igneous rock is formed. It all starts when a rock has been buried or forced deep within the earth and is melted from the high pressure and temperature. The molten rock, also known as magma, can then flow upward or even be erupted from a volcano onto the Earth's surface. When magma cools slowly, usually very deep into the earth, crystals grow from the molten liquid and a coarse-grained rock will form.
Coarse-grained, characteristic of a rock that means the minerals are more visible and compacted.
When magma cools rapidly, usually at or close to the Earth's surface, the crystals are extremely small, and a fine-grained rock will form.
Fine-grained is the characteristic of a rock that means minerals are non-visible or nearly. Yeah.
In some cases, different textures are apparent on the rock, and they can be glassy, or the rock looks shiny, or even porphyritic, which means the particular rock contains two different types of crystals, both large and small, which were made in different ways.
A large variety of igneous rocks are formed by different cooling rates, and also because of where they're formed.
Igneous rocks, like other main types of rock, are classified into two different groups, and for igneous rocks they are either intrusive or extrusive.
Intrusive rock is formed from magma that cools beneath Earth's surface, and extrusive rock is rock formed from lava that cools on the Earth.
An example of the most common intrusive igneous rock is granite, but another type is called diorite. Diorite has about the same properties as granite, which means it is less dense than basalt, but has a slightly darker color and can be known as black granite. It is a medium to coarse-grained rock and is mainly composed of paleoclase feldspar and a few dark-colored minerals like amphibole and or biotite.
Basalt, as we all know, is a very common extrusive rock, but andesite is actually right behind it. Andesite is a quite denser than granite, porphyritic rock and has a light gray color to it, with minerals such as feldspar, biotite, magnetite, and quartz. Andesite is what we call an intermediate rock, which means it is right between a felsic and mafic rock, because it isn't quite dark enough to be mafic, yet not light enough to be felsic. It is the extrusive version of diorite. Still confused about igneous rock? Here are a few more visuals of the process.
So after all these changes happen to the rocks to get them where they are now, what happens next? The rocks go in a never-ending cycle, eventually being worn down by weathering and erosion, and changing to different rock types, until it ends up as magma again, and repeats the cycle. In particular, the end result of igneous rocks can go into three different paths, either by next being eroded or broken down by weathering, melting again and becoming magma, or being changed chemically, or by heat/pressure. Be sure to look at the next step in the rock cycle that helps complete it and create new rock like igneous rocks.